performer has a story attached to his piece. I'll explain a little something about the piece. The piece is sort of an origin story, one of those old myths about, we got the alphabet and, where British accents came from. It's called When the Summer Loved the Winter. And as I said, there's a little story behind it. So this is Burr Harrison with his story and with When the Summer Loved the Winter.
Okay, so Kevin gave me this monologue to do once before at a monologue show at Second Story Theater, right? Theater in the round, all four sides. Audience is there, great audience, like this, very attentive on every word. He queued it up, the audience was very attentive. I nailed the beginning, and they were all right there. Waiting, just hear what happened next. So I get to one line, and I got a huge laugh line that I was not expecting. Right? Wasn't expecting, and my mind becomes blank. I mean, tabula rasa, nothing. I have no idea what the next line is. Nothing. All I have is what I just said the last time. So I pause, and then the only thing in my mind is the line I just said. So I say it again, but in like a different kind of way, a more dramatic way or something. Waiting for the next line to come to me. Nothing, right? So at that point, things go through your head. And so I'm wondering, does this stage have a trapdoor? What was I going to do? Like, hey, Alex, and go under. So they're dying slowly. It probably was a total of like 20 seconds, but in like actor years, that's a decade, And for some reason, the line came to me, the next line came to me, and I limped my way again, got a huge round of applause, not because it was any good, but because everyone was so embarrassed for me and felt bad, because they were, oh God, you made it again. Give me a round. And then afterwards, my friends were doing what friends do. They lied. I said, what? Did you go? Which is worse, So Bob Colonna, right, veteran of the stage, he's been on vaudeville, on the screen. He said something I really appreciated, which put it all in perspective. He said, listen, kid, 10 years from now, you're going to look back on this night and want to throw up. And I appreciated that because I didn't want someone to pretend it didn't happen. I wanted someone, to help me wallow in my wretchedness. So that was great. So anyway, and it's too bad too because it's a beautiful piece. So I guess this is my opportunity for redemption. So here's Kevin's When the Summer Loved the Winter. When the summer loved the winter, he wouldn't leave in September like he was supposed to. And the autumn became irritated and banished him to an island in the Pacific. There he wrote poems to the winter to try and cheer her, for she seemed to be such a dreary season. Not like the spring, which he used to love, but he was always leaving before he could even arrive. He sat on a hammock and watched the ocean, played with small children, and ate cantaloupe every day. But still, he thought of the winter. How cool her fingers felt touching upon his neck. They met on a night in February when the summer had gotten lost on his way to Africa. There they danced on a frozen pond, and when he melted, the waters they slipped beneath the surface and made love amongst the reeds and the sound of stones being skipped across the surface by a fool and a boy on their very first date. Summer woke, the winter was gone. But she left 4 fingerprints, faded and blue, firmly on his neck. So he searched for her. But though he could find her actions, he could not find her identity. Her trails would circle around and embrace themselves. And the autumn told him to give up, saying that winter was elusive. He was not like the summer, which could be lived in. Winter was something one must survive. There's no way to love something like that. But he did not listen to the autumn, and he did not worry about the spring, and when it was his time to arrive and warm the sand with his toes, he felt he could not do it properly, because he was so distraught, having spent months searching for the winter and to no avail. And so it rained all those months when it was supposed to be dry. Nobody went on vacation, nobody went outside, and everybody wondered what had happened to the summer. When the autumn arrived, she found that everyone was angry at her for coming before they had received a proper share of warmth and sunlight. But when the summer offered to stay longer, the autumn became angry that he would be so lazy and then so selfish to take time away from her that she exiled him away, and that's how he wound up laying in a hammock on an island himself. But one night, while he was sleeping, a cool breeze danced by. He woke on the winter resting lightly on his chest. When he asked her, "How is it that you can be here? Here, where it is too hot for the winter and only satisfying to a season like me," she said to him, "A love like yours cannot unmake the winter. It cannot make the winter warm, but it can make the unbearable. It can take a world of ice and grant it just enough light so it becomes a cool breeze coming off the ocean." She stayed there, softly, on his chest, until the summer sun came out over the water and declared that today would be a different sort of day.
I wrote my own monologues once, and I heard my grandmother in the third row go, "Just make something up, you wrote the damn thing."